Round 7 live commentary from beautiful Hollywood, California. And we are excited to bring you these games. A little bit shorter broadcast today due to the fact that my mother is visiting. So I have to see her, of course. But I'm taking the time out for everybody to analyze the games that are left. I'm Coach Q, your chess expert extraordinaire. And I'll be bringing you these games. So let's jump right into it. There are 2 games left in the Grandmaster section. So we have the Grandmaster norm section and the I am norm section. So we have some norm seekers here. 2 Grandmasters playing, though, the norm providers, in this first game. We'll take a look at the live games first, since those are happening. And then we'll take a look at the games that have finished. So first we have Alexei Sorkin, Grandmaster Alexei Sorkin versus Grandmaster Segmed, Bachaloon Segmed. And we have a queen endgame. Very exciting. Look at this one. What is going on here? So white has 5 pawns, black has 6. But white's queen is definitely better placed. And the black queen has to stay back and defend the back rank. So if we ever leave, like queen c4 of some sort, there will be back rank checkmates abounding. And it's white to play here. Sorkin has 17 minutes and Segmed has 1 minute and 56 seconds. So I can see that there's a few ideas here for Sorokin. One may be, and this is adventurous, bringing the king in. That would be very interesting if that's possible. There's also g5. So I say that white has the key to the position, but it's probably dynamically equal because, well, queen endings are notoriously hard to win. So, white has an advantage, but black can possibly hold. And according to the engine, it's like +5 with best play. And g5 is the main idea. Okay, very interesting. At about depth 22. So that's not super reliable yet, but it does look like white has a way to win here. Now, will it be easy to find as a human? Maybe not. So we'll see what happens there. And let's go to the other game in this group that's still going. We have Grandmaster Michaelian versus Fide Master Sandeep Sethuraman. So this game looks like, let's see what's happening. Looks like black is down in exchange and struggling to survive here. I think with 13 minutes versus 3 minutes, Grandmaster Michaelian will certainly have a good shot at winning this position. Let's go to the International Masters section. I'm sorry that I didn't have it prepared ahead of time, but let me just switch right there. Let's go to the I am norm section. Hello, where are you? It shows it just pops up. Okay. Hollywood Chess Classic. International Master norms available here. Who is still playing? 4 games still going on. Wow. All right, let's go. Let's jump right in. Let's see what action we have. Man, we have 10 minutes versus 14 seconds. Grandmaster Batoon is trying to... I don't know what black is trying here because they have the piece, but white has 3 pawns. So is this winnable? I would say that I'm very doubtful of that. One fact is that it's probably just super hard to hold on to this pawn. And maybe white is fighting for a win at some point here. I would guess that this is still equal, but okay, it's pretty equal. So we're checking the Silicon Monster. I thought with my own brain first, and my brain was correct that this is pretty equal, so it's like minus 0.2. So definitely holdable. Both sides. I would say white probably has the most winning chances, actually. Unless this pawn can be held. And black is able to win every single pawn. But that sounds like a tall order for a win here, so I feel like at some point White's going to find a way to trade a pawn for the B pawn. So that is looking drawish. Let's go to the next game. This is I am Aaron Grabinski, who is leading the tournament, versus FM Milind Mighty. And what is happening here? It looks like White has sacrificed an exchange and has 2 pawns compensation for it. But the 2 pawns are pretty far back, so this might be dangerous for White. Though I don't feel like okay, well, let's just look at moves, right? Instead of just operating on feelings, because chess pieces don't operate on any feelings. Queen c4 was played, threatening a check, and with almost no time left, Fide Master Mighty played 50. Had 50 seconds left, so he played King A8 immediately, which is a viable move and very smart because there are a lot of discovered attacks. And what does White have in response? Rook F1 to stop Rook D1 check, because there are some dangerous times here for the king. But doesn't that just allow Rook takes A3? There might not have been a way to stop it, but Rook takes A3 looks fine, unless there's a tactic that I'm missing. But I don't think I'm missing a tactic here. Okay. Mr. Mighty is having a mighty good time of this position, I think. Black is probably slightly better here. Only a tiny bit better. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, even if White, I guess even if Black wins the B pawn, there's probably some kind of fortress here. And with the queens on the board, it's going to be super hard to win this position. And with the queens off, there's probably fortresses with the bishop putting the pawn on a light square and guarding the bishop in some way. Okay, so that's a very interesting position, even though it's equal, technically. Okay, we have another queen endgame. Queen endgames are the theme today. Wow, alright. So we have another queen ending here with Austin May having 14 minutes and Hunching Lee having 3 minutes left. White's king is in some trouble here. White's king is in a little bit of trouble, but I don't know if there's anything to do about it. Oh wow, the never mind, the G pawn is dropping. Oh, he didn't take the G pawn. That's confusing. Oh, he's gaining a few extra seconds, but why would you give? Oh, Black is gaining the extra time. Okay, I apologize. This is pretty obvious to see. Black has less time. They might as well try to gain the extra time. And take the pawn with the tempo. Very nice sequence, actually. Let's replay that real quick. That's very nice. So instead of taking queen takes g3 right away, we play queen f1, king h2, queen h3 check, king g1, queen takes g3 check. And so you win the pawn with check. Okay, this is probably losing now for White. That king is in huge trouble, and the g4 pawn is about to push to g3. So this could be a big trouble for White. Austin May is on the ropes here. If you haven't seen it, I did a nice interview with Austin May. So go check it out in the videos on 1000 GM's YouTube. And like, subscribe, and donate. 1000 GM is a 501c3. So all of your donations are tax deductible. And we need your support. We need your support to keep these tournaments going. All of the norm seekers are playing for free. I mean, it's absolutely amazing and relatively unheard of in the chess world. Occasionally, organizations will do that, but 1000 GM is allowing every single norm seeker to play for free, and of course, the norm providers are gaining some professional pay for it. So that's really great, and we need your support to keep it going. So in this game, it looks like Lee is in a huge lead here. Yeah, Black is absolutely crushing. So we're going to see a win here shortly in this game. So let's go back to the next live game. If you're just joining us, we are broadcasting the 1000 GM Hollywood Norm Classic, and this is the I Am Norm section. So these are the players fighting for I Am Norms. And Rushan Mahajan is playing white, and FM Ruyang Yan is playing black in this next game with 8 minutes versus 2 minutes. And black is thinking time is ticking down for black here. And black is question mark up a piece. Unless I'm missing something, it looks like black is up a piece here. And the black king is in some trouble. But I'm a little bit confused about this last move. Why would you allow g5? And doesn't this pawn just hang after g5? I mean, there's an interesting line here. g5, bishop, d4, rook takes, and if they take, then queen a2 with some sort of skewer here. I mean, maybe white even just wants to open it up with pawn takes f5. This is a pretty challenging position. I don't think it's very clear about what's happening here. So I think white is worse and black is winning, but it's not easy to see exactly what the right line is. So let's see. Is there anything else other than g5 and pawn takes f5? I don't think so, unless taking the b file will do something, but this knight is guarding b8. So there'll be no real good use to take the b file unless you want to attack the e6 pawn with like rook e1. I don't think so. I think g5 or pawn takes f5 are pretty obvious moves. Okay, pawn takes f5 was played. Very nice. We guessed it. And I think this makes sense because you want to open the black king. Tactically speaking, I'm not sure it's working because black now has a tempo. And these pawns are super weak. So let's now check with the Silicon Monster. It's -8. Yeah, this is a crushing position. Could they have done anything? Okay, there was no real good moves here. This position was already losing. So white is on the ropes, trying to hang on here. We'll see what happens. So we've reviewed all of those games. Okay, we've already had a draw. We should look at the games that have already finished. This game we took a look at the end, so we'll see the final moves. A draw was agreed here because with one pawn, black is not going to have a chance at winning here. And with 4 pawns, white might have some chance, but they're not connected enough. If this pawn were over here, say on d5 or d4, then white actually would have winning chances. But black can win these pawns at some point and always sack a knight for at least a few of them. So that's why they both agreed to a draw. Max Gajalvik and Richard Batoon. The other game in this section that was already finished when I came in is Fide Master Singhania versus Alexander Ostrovsky. Ostrovsky was also tied for first, so he's now in clear first, unless who was tied with him? Aaron Grabinsky. So if Grabinsky wins, then they'll both be tied for first still. Let's see how Ostrovsky played this. A Karo Khan. Interesting that black can just give this h7 pawn. Oh, right. It's black's move. No, it's white's move. Oh, check. Sleeping brain. Okay, never mind. They're not giving the pawn. Black's playing h5. So that's just silly. Okay, black takes the knight and trades the bishop pair, but starts to get an attack on the king side quickly. So my guess is that castling queen side was just bad in this opening. And black plays very smartly here. Yeah, white never had a chance. Black is winning the entire game. So it's just a bad opening choice by Fide Masters Singhania. I mean, it's the landscape right now is absolutely brutal when it comes to openings. If you don't know your opening, you're going to have a serious disadvantage. And this is very nice the way that Ostrovsky finishes it. Oh, and then just trades. Okay, so white resigned here, but if the pieces trade, all these pawns come off the board, and black has an easy win. So that's why Fide Master Singhania resigned. So Ostrovsky getting a nice win and staying in first place. So this game is actually super consequential, at least for the standings. If Mighty holds here and holds the draw in this position, which... Did he make a mistake here? What is this allowing this checkmate threat? I guess it's not anything. Nice move by Fide Master Mighty. Though that move looks slightly dangerous. I don't think so, though. It can't be dangerous. So the position is still equal. And I expect Fide Master Mighty to hold this even with only a minute. Grabinski only has 2 minutes, so let's check real quick back in the Grandmaster norm section. Okay, Michaelian did win the game. Let's check how he did. We came in about here. Michaelian was absolutely crushing here because he's just up in exchange. And, well, just attacks the bishop, and Sethurman resigns. I think because, well, the bishop's en prise, queen a6 is threatened. Lots of checks are threatened. So, and if you trade, and if you move the bishop, well, the rook infiltrates. And if you just guard the bishop, what does white play here? Something like this and trade? Let's see. So, like, let's see if you just guard let's say just simply guard the bishop. Oh, just take h7. That's silly. Okay, of course, yeah. All the material's hanging here, and black cannot guard. This is hanging. This is hanging. This is hanging. Too much. And my guess is the pawn is just not fast enough. So black resigned here. And then we had this game. We haven't taken any look at this game yet, so let's just tab right through it. Looks like International Master Victor Matavishin won the game, and I believe he is definitely chasing a GM norm now. He beat International Master Robert Schlatenko. Robert has not had a great last few rounds, so some very tough competition. I'm sorry, I hit the skip to the end button. So what is this opening? Like a King's Indian defense where white did not play d5. Okay, interesting. So this is supposed to be theoretically better for white, apparently. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I keep skipping to the end. I apologize, my loyal audience. Don't get frustrated with me. So let's see where... I guess Robert just chose a bad opening. White is just winning the whole time again here. And wow, look at this sacrifice. Wow, look at this sacrifice. Rook a8. Wow. Beautiful. Threatening checkmate. And allowing the other rook, the queen to come in, of course, yeah. Allowing the queen to come in, and now black has to give the queen. But if black gives the queen, it doesn't work because rook takes e8, knight takes e8, and checkmate on a8. Wow, nice rook sacrifice. Look at this. This is probably the star move of the round. I mean, depends on the time left. Okay, he had 40 minutes left on the clock, so it's probably not that hard to find with this much time, especially by a strong player like Matavishin. But, wow, beautiful. Okay, we didn't see this game. Andy beat Kostya. Poor Kostya having a tough tournament. So, Fide Master, well, actually, International Master-elect Andy Woodward. He's actually higher rated than Kostya Kavutsky. So, Kostya plays a Larsen. Wow, that's a surprise. Larson is pretty relatively popular these days, so it trades into some. I don't understand. I don't know what this opening is at all. It's probably just some Larson line that is very interesting. And apparently, Kostya has a very strong position here. Has totally surprised the young Andy. But Andy Woodward has shown his mettle. He survived a completely losing position earlier. So Kostya takes the e5 pawn, which is a mistake. The best move is queen d2. But that's a little opaque. Maybe go over to a5 and attack this way. Queen d2. Queen d2, rook c8, queen a5. Yeah. So that's the plan here. I'm not sure I would be able to find that. I mean, I didn't study this system at all, but so that's a minor mistake. And then bishop d3 is a blunder. I guess it doesn't make sense to allow bishop b4 check. And this doesn't look too terrible, but this knight d5 move is just crushing. So Kostya's just having a bad tournament. He played bishop d3 here and missing bishop b4 check. And now black just takes over the game. Yeah, white drops the piece here. Nice move by Andy. Check this move out. King e7. It's a workhorse move. It's a normal move. Everyone plays this move, but it's a nice move. Nonetheless, one to learn from. King e7. Okay, castles. And Andy just swoops in. So nice result for the young Andy Woodward. I believe that's his second win in a row, if I remember from last night. So, poor Kostya. I'm sorry, Kostya. One of my good friends and one of the nicest guys in chess. So, my condolences to this game. But Andy is now chasing a norm, I think. Let's go back to the International Masters section. This game is still going on. Okay, it looks like Fide Master Mighty has sacrificed back the piece. Sorry, the exchange. He was up in exchange here. Now it's a dead equal position. So that's going to be a draw. And that's the last game in the round. So round 7 is about over here. I know I said it's a short stream, but my mother-in-law is in town, so I appreciate, a little bit of leeway. And thank you for joining us and watching this stream. Definitely check out all of the interviews from these players. I have a nice interview with Fide Master Mighty. He said some very, very nice things. And he's really young. I think he's only 18. So he is super young and 18 or less. And here he is trying to finish the draw. Yeah, not a hard draw. Queen g6. Don't play king h8. Checkmate. Yeah, queen's guarding the rook, so yeah, we're gonna see this as an agreed draw soon. And then I'll review the other games that we didn't get to see earlier. I believe there's one or two in this section that we didn't see, and one game in the Grandmaster section. And then we'll check out the standings, because this is round 7. Only 2 more rounds to go. It's a very exciting, pretty exciting event, actually. A lot of stuff happening. And we will have some norm seekers here. So some players are getting close to norms. I'm very surprised they haven't signed the score sheet yet. This is dead drawn. A rook and 2 pawns versus a rook and 2 pawns. We should see it soon. If Grabinski's time runs out, we know they took a draw. I believe that will put Grabinski in second place because Ostrovsky won. I believe they were tied. We can just take a quick look at the standings while we're waiting. Take a quick look at the standings. Okay, so a draw will put Grabinski half a point behind the leader. Not a bad place to go. Alexander Ostrovsky on a massive score, 5.5 out of 7. He is playing super well in this tournament. I have a nice interview with him as well, actually. So go check it out on the 1000 GM YouTube page. Go check it out. He had some nice insights about his chess play. Grabinski is about to draw, so he'll have 5 out of 7. That's also a very strong score so far. Fide Master Ru Yang Yan has 3.5 out of 7. That's an even score. And Lee coming back. Lee was in pretty dire straits in the beginning, so Lee has picked it up. Now has 3.5 out of 7. Fide Master Gajalvik also on even, and Candidate Master Rushan Mahajan is on even. He's one of the lowest rated players in the tournament, and also one of the hardest working players in chess, by the way. He has his own company, and he did a lot of work to help 1000 GM get these tournaments going. So thank you, Rushan. I appreciate that. Fide Master Mighty is going to draw, so he'll be on even. Grandmaster Richard Batoon on -1. Austin May on -1, and Fide Master Singhania in a little bit of tough straits, having a rough event. So, did we look at all the games in this tournament? Let's see. Okay, they did agree to a draw. Let's check out the games from this round. I don't think we saw this game at all. Oh yeah, no, we did, because this was the. Oops, I'm sorry. That was the Karo Khan that Ostrovsky completely outplayed Fide Master Singhania. Yeah, let's see the end of this one, because this was a nice queen ending. It was interesting. So oh, sorry. So we saw it about here, and I believe Austin made blunders here with Queen C7. Maybe there's no good moves here, though, because this move is threatened. Queen F3 check, and, well, it's hard to guard this pawn as well, so maybe there's no good moves. And I think Lee played very perfectly here, wins the G-pawn, then with check, and then pushes his pawn and makes a promotion. Very beautiful. And White tries for a stalemate. Almost a stalemate. If you move the queen anywhere that's not a check, like Queen F8, it's a stalemate. Okay. And did we see the end of this game? I believe we did. Oh, no, we didn't. Let's take a look at the end of this game. We did not see how this one ended, but White was in dire straits. So Rook G7 check, Knight G4, Queen D3. And Rushan tried to make some counterplay, but there was none to be had. And then a nice little temporary sacrifice. Well, or an offered sacrifice. Because if you take with the rook, rook takes G4 check. That would be dangerous. And Rushan tries Queen E8, but that just leads to, it looks like a forced mate in 2. So Rook takes G4, King H3, and Rook G3 checkmate. So no way to save the position at all. The pieces were busted. So that's it for the Round 7 International Master Norm section. Oh, there's still a game going here. I apologize. I didn't realize that this game in the Grandmaster section was still going. Oh, okay, it was this game with... Okay. Yeah, this game looks pretty even. And Black is just having a field day, just checking the White King. So, just a few minutes left in this game. We'll stick with it until the end of this game. And then we'll do the review of the scores. Is there any threat here with White's king escaping? So, like, if you play Queen E2 check, King... Okay, they agreed to a draw. I think because something like Queen E2 check... Oh, they'd already repeated, I see. It looks like the position had already been repeated. So, okay, never mind. But even so, if you had played, like... if the king tried to escape, I think they would always have had to check on the dark squares on this diagonal, so the king couldn't escape. So that drew like we thought. So let's take a look at the final standings. And then, not the final standings, the standings after round 7. So after round 7, Grandmaster Armin Mikhailian has 5.5 out of 7, a very strong score, but what you would expect from one of the norm providers. International Master Victor let me say that again. International Master Victor Matvishin has 5 out of 7, definitely chasing a norm, and I don't know what the average rating of this group is, but Victor Matvishin might even be able to achieve a norm next round. I'll have to consult with some of the experts, and I'll tell you at the start of next round. I'll be back tonight at about 7 p.m. So Matvishin might be chasing that norm. And also, International Master Andy Woodward is also chasing a Grandmaster norm. Looks like he is on +2. Matvishin is on +3. That's pretty amazing. And I am Josiah Stearman is also on +1. So we have a very strong group of players really seeking those norms. So I am Josiah Stearman, has 4 out of 7, so has a good shot as well. Probably needs 2 wins in round 8 and 9 to get there. Grandmaster Alexei Sorkin is even in the middle. Robert has taken a toll and lost a few rounds in a row, is on -1. FM Sethurman is on -2. Same thing with International Master Griffith and Grandmaster Segmed, both on -2. And poor Kostya is having a tough time of the tournament. One of my good friends. So my condolences that he's having a tough time, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. He is a very resilient player. So that concludes round 7. So thanks for joining me, everybody. And please like, subscribe, and donate to 1000 GM, the 501c3. All of your donations are tax deductible. So if you are at all a chess fan, a parent, a philanthropist, get in there and give a donation to 1000 GM. They are really working hard, so these players don't have to pay a dime, not one dime. They pay a deposit and they get all their money back if they complete the full event, and they play for free. So that's pretty incredible. It's not being done much, so definitely consider giving it any sort of size gift, but $5, $10, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. If you have the money and you really want to support chess, this is the way to do it, because they want to have tournaments every single weekend. They want players getting their norms every single weekend. So I appreciate your support, and thanks for watching. We will be back with round 8, and we'll see. I mean, Matvishin probably is in line for a GM norm like early. Next round. 5 out of 7 is an insane score. So we'll see. And I'll consult with some of the experts and to see if he is actually in line for that yet, or if it'll take 2 more rounds. So thanks for joining, everybody. I'm Coach Q, your chess expert extraordinaire and your guide to these games. So join me again at 7:30 tonight, and we'll do it again with round 8. Thanks again, and make sure you like, subscribe, and donate.